young man known as Solomon Berger. He was a pilot of the plane, and the plane was landed in emergency. It was said to have crash land. When they landed, they asked the waitress, what was the attitude of those in the plane? She said everyone was praying. So you will have wondered, those passengers in the plane, will it have been that the pilot would have told them, hello, I am Captain Femi Egbeshola. At the moment, we have lost one engine. We are about to lose the second engine. But don't worry, we will crash land. Anyway, if you like, you can pray. Do you think that would have been the attitude? Nobody told them to begin to pray by the time they all went into prayer. And that's the attitude that we should have in emergency time or uncertain time. We act out of intuition because we do not want to lose life. I will have given you more examples, but for time, but let's go to resilience. What does it mean to be resilient? It means doing better than expected in difficult circumstances. Let me give you a scenario of what happened in the Olympic Games of Mexico, 1968. There was this marathoner known as Akwari. Akwari was from Tanzania, and he participated in the marathon. While the race was on, Akwari fell, got his leg broken, and sustained a lot of bruises. Will Akwari stop the race? The story said that Akwari struggled to continue to limp with the other leg until he eventually finished that race. He finished the race 2 hours when the game has ended. So the journalist approached Akwari and asked him, what's the sense of crossing the finishing line when the game ended 2 hours ago? Do you know what he said? He said, my country, Tanzania, did not send me to Mexico to start the race alone, but to also finish it. That's resilience. So for us in business, resilience means that we must be ready to finish the business that we have started. And for us to do so, we must be focused. You must have seen cameramen when they want to take pictures. They look straight into the camera. Is that not so? So focus is key for us if we really want to be resilient. It's important. And resilience means that we want to continue to develop that mindset that whatever happens, no matter what, we will not give up. There's this personal experience of mine. I was listening to the panel session when one of the panelists mentioned about his pig farm. I do have a pig farm, and the pig farm was doing very well. At a point, people were bringing their money to give to me. Please help me buy 10 pigs, your farm, and raise. Help me buy 15 pigs. Help me buy 25. So we grew the pig farm to 420 pigs. Wonderful, is that not so? But one fateful week, a disease struck. And within 9 days, they all died. First, the issue was, where are we going to bury 420 pigs? As we're dilly-dallying on that, the community came up, reported to the police because the stench, the odor coming out in the community, as if that was not enough. Those that borrowed or gave us money to raise for them and seemed to be friends came with police to demand for their money. Time will permit me to really talk much about that, but that's about resilience for you. If not, one will have thought about closing his eyes towards business. But it was a lesson to start again and in a better way. It means also that we have to be visible. Visible in the sense that if you have a product and you are not advertising it, you are not making it visible, that product will be in your store for rats. They will be the consumer at the end of the day. It also means that you want to make sure that you are financially literate. Make sure that it is important that you keep your records, that has been emphasized here. Financial literacy also means that you want to give yourself to training, skilling, and upskilling. It means also that you want to have strong values and strong integrity, as it was mentioned here again and again and again. And when we want to walk in a way that will start from our slogan. What's that slogan again? Start small, grow big, and many times we think of very, very big ideas and we want to start big. Eventually we fail. Why do we fail? Because life and nature is not designed for us to start big. Have you ever seen a baby born as adult? A woman or a baby girl will be born as a girl. She will grow to adolescent. After a time, she will graduate and start work. After a time, she will get married. After a time, she will have children and on and on. Is that not so? That's exactly how life is designed. And that's how we too should go about it. It's important for us to do so. Again, also, it is important for us to see how we can use our resilience to be able to bring about innovation. Innovation sometimes in area of collaboration, not competition. It reminds me of three women somewhere in Abeokuta. They are fashion designers. They decided to come together as one. And what did they do? They began to work as one. They no longer need to have one shop. They share rents, they share tailors, they share designs. And now they are exporting out of Nigeria. What's the difference? Same story, but different result because they collaborated. There's this man also, a mechanic in Lagos, who decided to be doing home diagnostic service. The mechanic, he discovered that he was no longer selling. So he took up an initiative, home mechanic service. So he will go to homes with his tablet and his Bluetooth reader and diagnose vehicles. At a point, he started a workshop and he had a lot of customers. But sometimes along the line, he was no longer selling. You know what he did again? He decided that for you to come to his workshop for your mechanical issues, you will get an after-sales service of a free car wash. And before you knew it, his big workshop became one of the biggest in that community. In your business, can you think of other value addition that you can add to it to make it work? Let's quickly go to funding because of our time. In the form you filled online, funding came up first. So it's good for us to talk about it. Talking about funding, do you know there are many platforms for fundings that are specially made for you? I will speak about few because of time. The first one I will talk about is the Nigeria Stock Exchange Growth Board. There's a board known as Growth Board under the Nigeria Stock Exchange. If you hear Nigerian Stock Exchange, it's really for public listed company. They call them public liability companies. But this time around, in their wisdom, they now decide that, okay, they now want to fund small businesses. So they created this out and call it the Growth Board. So what it does is that if you need funding, they now promote your visibility to the international community for investors, and you now get funding. Are you aware of it before? And that's why you need information. So, what does it cost you to be placed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange Growth Board? Nothing. It's free. We'll not be able to engage more on that, but keep it down and let's talk about it later. Again, also, are you aware that if you are into exports now, government gives you 5% rebate on whatever you sell? Meaning that if I'm into exports and I'm able to export $10,000, government gives me 5% of $10,000 back. And at the moment also, they have loan of one single digit interest loan rate for exporters. Are you aware of it? And that's why we also need to take it further. The federal government BOI loan, you must have heard of it. That's popular. So many people applied for it. Many were not able to pursue it as they should because they feel it is a scam. I am happy to announce to you that our members have gotten offer letter for that loan. Meaning that it is a venture you can still go back to do if you have not done so. We have so many numbers of grants. Grants are money you collect and you don't need to pay back. We have them scattered all around. One avenue where you can get grants information from time to time is our Facebook page. Do you know what it is? Asborn Entrepreneur Club. Asborn Entrepreneur Club. We post their grants every now and then. I will have given you case studies, but for time. Again, also, there's a particular fund dedicated for youths. Formerly, youth were seen as between 18 and 20, 25. But the new definition says youth are now those between the ages of 18 and 35. So if you fall in that bracket, you are now qualified for a 5% loan, not 9, 5% loan, 1 year moratorium, repayable in 5 years. They call it Nigerian Youth Investment Fund. It's not only for youth alone, but also for youth-led businesses. So as I'm an elderly person and I want to access that loan, I can put someone forward who is a youth to lead my business, then I qualify. That person could be my son, my daughter, or someone else, and I will have access to it. Again, too, are you aware of the Startup Act? The Startup Act is designed to give funding for those who are starting. Sometimes ago, starting, this time, has not grown. What do I mean? Startup definition before are businesses that are between age 1 and age 5. But today, according to the new definition, as much as you have not been able to scale, even if you have been 10, 15, 20 years, you are still regarded as a startup. So if you are a startup, you are now qualified to get funding under the Startup Act. Even in Asborn too, we give funding to those who are in the nano category. Nano businesses are very small businesses that are run by one person or two persons with turnover of just about 300,000 or less. You can also take advantage of Asborn. There's this program launched 2 months ago. They call it National Credit Guarantee Limited. Do you know what it is about? It means that if you now need a loan and you go to the bank and they speak all those their big grammar, one of it is go and bring your collateral. All you need to go is to go and do now is go to the National Credit Guarantee Limited, hosted by the federal government, in partnership with World Bank, and say, I want to get 50 million naira loan from Sterling, and I don't have a collateral. They collateralize for you 70% of it. Are you aware? It was launched